it's very disappointing to start a season after our worst season in the Premier League ever, to start the season with pretty much exactly the same lineup as last time. Like, we're playing exactly the same midfield that everyone says is the core of the problem.
Eriksen played, didn't he?
Eriksen played false nine.
Yeah.
So it's kind of weird. It was strange. It was strange. But yeah, McFred, obviously. That's a huge problem in the squad, I think. And it has been, everyone's known this for ages. And I honestly think the only thing keeping Scotty in the team is his club homegrown status. So
you might be right.
This problem needs to be addressed, and it's hilariously naive that it hasn't been when everyone's been screaming about it forever. And they just can't handle the pressure. They can't handle the pressure from a press, like a team like Brighton is going to do. They're going to press you hard. They don't.
I mean, it happened on the first play of the game. United passed it back to their centre backs, and Brighton ran at them, and United made a shitty error.
Yeah, that was probably more of a Dallo error, but I know what you mean. Yes,
sure. I mean, sure. I mean, but the error happened because, well, for one of the reasons, United were not prepared to be pressed.
Yeah, so we need better midfielders, and this showed clearly in the second half because they subbed Fred off at halftime, which I actually think was the wrong choice. You probably should have subbed Scotty then instead of Fred, because I think Fred's actually slightly better than Scotty. And anyway, so Eriksen dropped into an 8 role, and that kind of fixed things relatively. We didn't concede any more goals in the second half, and we did claw one back. But but then Scotty still played like 70 minutes. We have 5 subs, and Scotty's playing 70 of them, 70 minutes. So not good. We needed better midfielders because after those two, we're getting into our youth guys basically. That's not.
Well, who else have you got? You got Bruno.
But Bruno plays further up, and he was in that game too. I thought that was going to be the idea too, like Bruno playing 8 or something, but it hasn't seemed to have happened yet. So
Bruno missed an absolutely brilliant chance.
Oh, I know. And Rashford did too. He had a 1-on-1 that he just couldn't figure out. Sanchez made a good save, and
at least he put it on target.
Yeah, Bruno's finishing is not great.
But it was when he came.
You're right. Yeah, you're right. I don't know what happened. It's.
Where's Van de Beek?
He did play. He did play in that game, and he's getting a bit more time. But
if you were to pick your best midfield 3, because obviously that's how you want to play. It's Van de Beek, Eriksen, and Bruno.
We have Ten Hag, right? This is the player that sort of developed Frankie Van de Beek into the player at his best before he moved to United. And so for whatever reason, he doesn't want to play Van de Beek either. And he knows him best. And I think that's a bad sign. I think something's not quite right with him. And so I don't know, maybe he needs to fix some things, but yeah, I don't know. Just I don't think Van de Beek's going to solve our problem anyway. I think
he's also the guy that sold Van de Beek.
But now we're looking at the transfers we've been linked with recently have just been like almost embarrassing in my opinion.
Insane.
Anyway, the one that we are linked with is Rabiot, and I'm like so lukewarm on this one.
Yeah, he is a
lukewarm player.
Considering that we released Pogba to Juventus, and then we're going to pay 10 mil and get Rabiot in exchange. That's pretty embarrassing.
And 5 years later, you're going to sell Rabiot to Juventus on a free.
But I mean, that being said, Rabiot is always in the France team. the other thing is Rabiot also wants 200k a week, which is just ridiculous when Scott McTominay's on 75k per week. Like, it's
What would someone like Milkinovic-Savic demand?
probably less.
You
Like,
think?
he's not a Juventus player. Like, it's just because it's Juventus. Juventus pay their squad insane wages, but Lazio doesn't. Lazio doesn't have that kind of money. So we probably would get Milkinovic-Savic on less. And I would love... Well, Milkinovic-Savic is the other one we're linked with. I'd love that. We've been linked with Milkinovic-Savic for the last 4 years, though. And it never happened. And it's funny because every other season I would have said that he's too expensive because they want 75 mil or something like that. But that seems to be the going rate for a solid midfielder these days. Like Frankie de Jong was
a good player.
Yeah, so since Frankie de Jong was 85, Milkinovic-Savic almost seems cheap now. But the other side of that too is that he's not a 6. He's not a 6 either. He goes forward. He plays 10. Or probably for us he'll play 8.
Then don't play a defensive midfield. Like, does Ten Hag do that? He doesn't really do that, does he? It's double pivot.
You're right. Ten Hag does not play a defensive midfielder. But
Fine.
That was at Ajax. Do you think that... I'm not sure if you can get away with not playing a defensive midfielder in the Premier League. Every team has a really good defensive midfielder. Except United.
Yeah.
That's my reasoning.
I think that's true. I think, your equivalent is Scott McTominay, which is just not good enough.
Exactly. Well, so on that note, though, a lot of people are saying that maybe Lisandro Martinez should play there.
Yeah, why the hell not?
That's what I said. I said why not as well, because a lot of people are paranoid about his height. His debut was actually pretty decent. It was okay. I mean,
apart from that penalty that he should have given away.
Yeah, it probably was a penalty, I'd say.
It was a weekend for dodgy penalties.
Yeah. And I thought he was decent. He's a lot of potential. I mean, to be fair, he was actually like thrown in the deep end because both Lindelof and Varane are injured. So he was just thrown. He'd only played one. Not even. I don't even think he played a full preseason game, and got dropped in. So maybe he can play midfield, but only once we have at least 3 fit centre backs. It's not going to happen until then. So the other players we're linked with is this guy Gakpo, who plays for PSV. Do you guys know about him?
Never heard of him.
He's like a left winger, goal scorer kind of guy. So he's playing for PSV, but PSV beat Monaco in the Europa League qualifying. So he's pretty much said that if Champions League qualifying. So if PSV qualify for Champions League, he's not going to come. Well, alternatively, we also have Ismalia Sarr, who scored unreal goal just in the weekend for Watford when he shot from his own half and put it in the net. It was brilliant. Excellent finish. We actually had our chief scout at the game who saw it live. We were already scouting him prior to this. So I'm glad we're not the team that's just like, holy shit, did you see that goal? Let's buy this guy. We were actually scouting him before that, thankfully.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah. I'd take him. He looks good. But
you should as well. He's like, when was the last time you signed a forward? Who was the last forward you signed?
Ronaldo.
Yeah, it would be.
Okay, fine. Yeah. Who was the last forward you signed who isn't 38?
Cavani.
Yeah, stop it. And you know who else you've been linked with this week? You know who else you've been linked with this week? 33-year-old Marko Anautovic.
I didn't even finish that point. Like, yeah, the players we've been linked to lately are just embarrassing. Like Anautovic, Tadic, Rabiot, like very depressing. Thankfully, the Anautovic deal is definitely not happening because everyone forgot and then remembered that he's a complete piece of shit. So, because he was
would have
racist.
ruined my 8-week card by himself.
Hmm.
And did he drop a racism?
He was
it during the Euros?
Yeah, he was racist at the Euros, and that was not the first time. He also, apparently there was also the story came out that while he was at West Ham, he would like go and harass like the female West Ham players because they would like train next to each other. There was like just a wall kind of separating the two grounds, and he would like yell shit over the wall like at the women.
Dreadful behaviour.
I know. Again, he just seems like a complete knob. So fuck that guy.
No, sign him. Sign him.
Thankfully, we are the team of PR, if we are anything, and so the fans revolted and blocked the signing. Thank God.